Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Good evening and welcome to NinonSpeaks Media Image Show. My name is AJ Dean. I am your co-host, and it's my great privilege to introduce the amazing and wonderful Ninon de Rosa and my friend. How are you, Ninon?
I'm doing great. But I know what, I think Marco's on behind the scenes. We both come on laughing because we're trying to get this all together. And we're used to studios. When you're in the studio and you've got all these people helping you, and then all of a sudden it's like me and you are putting this whole thing on. And it's so funny because Marco's on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. But I understand we have a great show coming up. Who are the guests?
Yes, we have a delightful show. It's absolutely amazing. And can you hear me okay? Just want to double check on the audio.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, great. Joelle Righetti, she is a actress and a wonderful singer, and she sings in a band, a rock and roll band. She's performed as Cher. She's an actress, singer, and entertainer. She's been in the movie Billy Top It and Joelle and the Gypsies. That's her rock band, Nothing But the Best. And then she's also had national songs on, worked with Lance Burton, Franny and JoJo Show. And she's also got something called the Gypsy.
Franny and the JoJo show sounds like some English show.
Yes, and she's got some great, the Gypsy Mobile Minister, she's also called. And so that's exciting. And then we've got Chris Jason. He performs as Frank Sinatra for TRP Entertainment at the Tuscany Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he is part of the Rat Pack show. He's just a phenomenal guy well.
I've met him actually, and he is so beautiful. He's such a great person in person. Oh, yes. There you are.
Yes.
He's got the hat on today.
Yes, and welcome to both of you. And these are look at our delightful guests tonight. Yes.
I can see you. I can see you, Christopher, but can you see me?
Wait a minute. I don't have any sound. Hang on a second.
Okay. We got your sound. We can, oh, he can't hear us.
Okay, well,
let's go to Joelle.
Hi.
Joelle, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
One thing for sure, you've got sound.
Yeah.
You've definitely got sound. AJ was just telling me a little bit about you. You're really very famous.
Oh, goodness. No, I don't think famous is the word. I think just I've worked a lot.
Well, that makes you famous. It's the ones that I love the ones that don't work and say they're famous.
Oh, no. There you go. That's funny. I think the difference is when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's the difference.
I've done that all my life. Funny you should say, all my life, I have done every single thing I've enjoyed so much. Even being married. I was married for 29 years. Even that was cool.
Oh, I think I have 29 years between all the boyfriends I've ever had. No, I'm teasing. I love you.
Wait a minute, on the other line. Come on.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
Maybe it's good he didn't hear me.
There you go. Hey, Christopher, what are you up to?
Ninon.
It's good. Something. It's good to see you, but I didn't recognize you with a hat on.
I didn't recognize myself with the hat on either.
Oh, so did you introduce yourself to yourself?
Hello,
I'm fine, thank you. Oh, yes.
I was in the middle of a studio session tonight, and I was just kind of nonchalant, and kind of just eased down a little bit.
So what were you in the studio for? Are you recording a new record of your own, or are you still in the group, or what's going on with you, Christopher?
I am doing, has nothing to do with the Rat Pack. I'm actually laying down some tracks for a new CD that I'm putting together of some kind of B-side Sinatra songs.
Oh, how fabulous.
Yeah.
How fabulous.
And it's kind of in lieu of a show that I'm going to be doing at the Italian American Club March 28th.
Is it open now?
Yes.
It is open.
Yes.
So everything's is everything starting to get open again?
No.
No. Yes. No.
Not yet.
Well,
you can have what's called ambient music. If you have food, you can have music, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. But if you have a stage show, like for example, when we put the Rat Pack up on its feet in November, you had to be 25 feet from the audience to the public. for whatever reason. And so if you do a live theater show without any food, you got to have 25 feet.
Well, that's not very much, 25 feet. That's not too bad.
I mean, it's
Well,
a lot.
when you're in a big showroom, it's when the people on stage,
Yeah.
the performers on stage can't really see the audience members. It's a problem because it's really just a black hole.
Can I ask a question? How
Yes.
do people watch this show? Is there a special link? I've got some people that want to see this.
AJ, how can people tune in and watch this? Because they can if we're not going live, are we?
No, we're actually we're filming right now, and it's
Gotcha.
recording.
Gotcha.
But I would have to close. I'd have to do a couple technical things to admit them, and it'd take a lot of time. And
That's okay. No worries.
Doesn't matter.
I just wondered.
But they can still watch it. Well, they can still think they can watch it, but they can watch it on Facebook for NinonSpeaks.
Right now?
No, it'll be on. It'll be on tomorrow, right?
Gotcha.
It'll be up by tomorrow, so they can watch it there tomorrow. And then it's all over the place because I'm planting it everywhere.
Perfect. Okay,
And also it's going to end up as a radio show as well because we just got picked up by, I don't know, 5 or 6 different radio stations.
You.
And then we also got picked up
Congratulations.
by Win Network. And then we also, I don't know, we're all over the place. I'm getting very confused because
That's because you're good.
I'm all over the place.
You and Andy, you're good. You're good.
That's
You're very good.
I gotta get better now.
Yes, you do.
But, so are you familiar, Joelle, are you familiar with our show?
Absolutely. I knew when Chris was on, I watched.
Oh,
when
how
he was on,
sweet.
And then I learned all about you, and I read about you and all the many millions of things that you've done as well. And just
Well, you know, I have got some exciting news right now, but maybe I'll pass it over to AJ and let AJ talk about it because I don't want to really talk about myself. So I'll let AJ do it. What are we going to do after the show tonight, AJ?
tonight we're going to have a very special interview. The table is going to turn, and we're going to actually ask Ninon the questions, and I'm going to start with her autobiography in video form with her tonight, and it's a very wonderful celebratory thing. So I'm excited about that, and I'm honored to be a part of it with your life, Ninon. But I do want to say that Joelle and Chris both have some songs that they wanted to share with us tonight. So I wanted to hand it over to whoever wants to volunteer first.
Who's going up first? First base.
We're actually going to do one together for you. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Can you tune that in together? You're in different studios.
So we're going to do a magic trick right now. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Close your eyes.
My eyes are closed.
Wait, let me do a magic trick. Okay,
You're going to disappear.
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
I told you. What did I tell you? I said he's going to disappear. What happened? I opened my eyes and he's gone.
Hey! Listen, I worked for Lance Burton for 18 years. I learned these things.
So you both just did a magic trick. Now, I have to tell you something so funny. When you said you're going to do a magic trick, I thought they're going to join studios. So I'm looking at all your background and his background. And it looks nothing alike.
Don't tell him how you did it. If I tell you, I have to kill you.
He went over a door and came in another door.
I snapped my fingers. I said ring a ding ding, and that was it. That's it.
Wow.
And now we're going to sing.
Come on, let's ring a ding ding. Get a little into the camera. Move it, Joelle. Move over a little bit.
We'll do a little excerpt for you. Okay?
All right, you ready?
Okay.
This may or may not be on one of the little albums that I might be doing. Okay.
Yeah, we're ready.
A little excerpt. Ready? 2, 3. 4. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same old lies you heard the night before. And though it's just a line to you, for me it's true and never seemed so right before. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say to make the meaning come true. And though I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you, the time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the night's so blue. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I love you. Ninon, AJ. I love you.
How do you do that? I got that all wrong. That was absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Together
All right.
a lot.
Snap your fingers. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2. It's like Siegfried and Roy. You know, I worked for Siegfried and Roy. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I know that the other partner just died yesterday.
Yeah, Siegfried, he passed.
Siegfried, yeah, he passed,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I
But
posted.
now he's with his partner though, so it's okay.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
now got animals in the sky.
They had an interesting life together. Boy, the show that's happening in the sky tonight has got to be interesting.
It's got to be amazing. Big
Thank you.
celebrations.
Thank you so much for that. I loved that song, and I love that you did it a cappella, because those are true performers who do a cappella like that on the prompt to just right away. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
If you can't hit the note a cappella, you're in trouble. You better leave.
But it was beautiful. You're both amazing. Chris, so is this a new song of yours, or is this coming out or from an old album, or is this an album together?
No, this is, like I said, it's based off of what I'm going to be doing at the Italian American Club on March 20th. And I wanted to do what not that many people do nowadays. And a lot of people kind of revert that do Frank Sinatra or perform the music of Frank Sinatra. They stick to the I don't want to say the winners, but the other winners, the Summer Win, Best Is Yet to Come, I Get a Kick Out of You. I want to do what Frank used to love to do, which is the ballads.
Yes.
The name of the show is going to be more of a it's kind of like a Sinatra unplugged. It's only myself, piano player, guitar player, and a drummer, and we're going to be revisiting a lot of the stuff like a lot of Antonio Carlos Jobim songs, Girl from Ipanema, Bonita, Change Partners, all that stuff, kind of very stripped down to see what it would be like if Sinatra had done something with very just stripped down things, just those things, the wee small hours.
That's how he used to sing. He didn't have, sometimes he had, obviously had a big band, but sometimes he had the little small trios and little things. And I had the pleasure of being at his house and actually talking with him. And he and I had a fabulous conversation. He was absolutely amazing. And the reason we kind of got on was because I was from Europe and he loved Europe. He loved to be in Spain. He loved Spain. And but we had a lovely time. But he's not the man that people sort of think he is, because we always see him on screen. He was just amazing. One-on-one, it was like, oh, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, another guy talking to me.
That's how I would do it. If I ever had the chance to had talked to him, interviewed him, or sang with him, or anything like that, I would have looked at him like a regular person. I wouldn't have been, like, oh my God, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that's how you do it in show business. That's how you are, aren't you?
Exactly. I would treat, like I meet anybody now that's in show business, I treat them like I would want to be treated myself. Like, hi, my friend, nice to meet you. Big fan. And that's where it ends. Hey, we'd like to do a song together. And that's where it ends. It's more of a mutual respect.
It is. It definitely is. Now, I know that Chris, you're in Vegas. Are you also in Vegas, Joe?
Absolutely.
So
I hope we're in the same house. I hope
so. Why haven't you been on my other show? Come on.
Who, me or Chris?
No, you. Chris has been on the show.
It's amazing. There are so many incredibly talented people running around Las Vegas. And isn't it funny how you bump into somebody and you go, I've been here all these years. Where have you been? How come I've never met you? And why have you never been on my show? Or why have we never rubbed shoulders? It's very strange, right?
Well, because it's not exactly Vegas. It's a very big place. It's not. I mean, Vegas is all just a strip.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, and two, oftentimes I think I've been stuck in these theater shows for now almost 38 years. I've been working in Vegas. And, sometimes I think, well, thank you. I'm fermenting in formaldehyde. But I think there's times when, when you're working for long periods at a time, like I worked Lance Burton for almost 20 years.
Really?
And, we toured and traveled, and it was a 6-night-a-week job. And we went to work every night. Some nights we were doing television stuff. Some nights we were doing, and we would fly out on our days off to do Jay Leno and David Letterman. And, and then I wouldn't get out to the clubs. I wouldn't get to meet anybody. I think for years I might have went out once a year because we were just so slammed with work, praise God. But I think that's probably why people say, well, why have I never met you?
Why have I seen you? Why don't I know you? What big places have you played? What hotels have you played in Vegas?
Well, I opened in the 80s with the Follies Bergère at the Tropicana. I was there. I was only 15 years old.
You
when
must
Domaney is, the Domaney.
Yeah, he owned the hotel.
Yeah. And Cindy Domaney, right?
Domaney, I know her very well.
Her husband just passed away, right?
That picture is in.
Randy Sword just passed away 2 days ago.
Her boyfriend?
Her boyfriend, Randy, he passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so.
You knew that. You know Randy. He takes all the pictures around town.
Yes, I do know Randy, and
passed away from COVID 2 days ago.
And that was Cinder's boyfriend, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
with
Cindy
the long
is
hair.
an amazing woman. I mean, I don't know if anybody out there, but let's explain. Cindy Domaney was married to me for many, many years. And I'm not saying anything out of school, but they never divorced. And I understand they talk every day, and because they're still very friendly with each other. And I think that's quite beautiful. Sometimes these things end up really rotten. But anyway, so you opened the Tropicana with the Folies Bergère. Oh, wonderful.
I was 15 years old when I went to work there. And then I stayed there. There was a strike on the Las Vegas Strip. It was one of the most memorable strikes that the union has ever had. And every show closed. Every hotel was a strike zone. If you crossed the picket line and went into the casino, you got hit by rioters. It was crazy. I don't know if you ever heard about that or if you were here in the 80s.
I don't. Yes, I remember the 80s, unfortunately. But
yeah. So I remembered I crossed the picket line because the show had closed, and I was just about to turn 16, and I was working as a maid at the Tropicana. Pushing a cart and changing beds. And it was a very iconic time in Las Vegas because it was the first time that the unions had ever striked. And they actually shut all the casinos down. They shut every department down. And
you're used to this. So you're used to what's going on now.
Oh, please. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun, please.
No, nothing for you.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, were you around with all this stuff?
I was
no.
on the East Coast. I wasn't in Vegas until 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So what made you suddenly come to Vegas after sort of performing back east? I guess you were busy.
I was playing on the East Coast, doing about 300 shows a year with my big band.
Oh my goodness.
Going from
you saw all that back east stuff, because back east is so different to Vegas. Vegas is
very different. It's a different clientele, different attitude. And I'm very grateful for that because it kind of gave me that start and that lookout to what to look out for, and it kind of it scoped to me to what I'm doing today. I've always done Sinatra, but playing the big bands on the East Coast and playing with the dance bands on the East Coast, it got me ready, so to speak. But Tony Saka is the person that really I have to give the credit to, rest in peace, for getting me here in Vegas. He's the one that really discovered, what I could do as far as doing the Sinatra songbook, and really put me in place with what I do now with the Rat Pack is Back.
Yeah, and I believe Joel Sacco is in town too. I've had him on my show. And they also have a sister, right? Because it used to be 4 of them, right? That they used to have the group.
The Saka.
Yes. And Tony
Saka twins. You're talking about the Tony Saka twins?
Twins, yeah. And then they had the sister and George. There was quite a
Mm-hmm.
And I've interviewed George, a great guy. But what made you go what made you do Frank Sinatra, Chris?
My uncle, make a long story short, it's a long story, but make a long story short, my uncle was a tribute to Engelbert Humperdinck, and I know you dated Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah, I did.
Arnold, for those who don't know, George Dorsey is real name.
Jerry Dorsey, yeah.
And he did him for so many years, and I grew up with him as my Uncle David was my idol, looking up to him since I was 6 years old, seeing the glamour and the diamonds and the cologne and the hankies that Engelbert used to give to the girls on stage.
Oh, the glamour.
Exactly. And the limousines picking my uncle up for the shows. And my uncle would play Vegas every once in a while, and my uncle was picked up by a comedian who used to play Vegas. You might be familiar with him. He's passed away many years ago. His name was Tubby Boots. I don't know if you
knew the name. I never knew him.
Okay, Tubby Boots was a very risque comedian for that time in the mid 70s, 80s.
That's like Shecky Green. And he was in the same area as Shecky Green is a good friend of mine, and his wife.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
My father worked for him.
Oh really?
No.
What a small world this is. We all know each other, but don't know each other.
I picked up everything that I know from my Uncle David. And when I was around 14 years old, I used to tug on his coattails, and I said, I'd be like, Uncle David, can you let me open up for you one night? You know, I don't care what it is. It could be if I do comedy, I don't care if I can do whatever. And he gave me a spot, and I sang one night, and I did, it wasn't a Sinatra song, it was a Engelbert song. I did The Hungry Years.
Oh yes, yes.
It really went over well with, 14-year-olds singing at that age, singing Engelbert Humperdinck while everybody else.
Well, you and Wayne Newton.
Exactly. And everybody else is listening to Led Zeppelin and Kiss. I'm singing, The Hungry Years from Engelbert Humperdinck on stage. It really did snowball, and the Sinatra thing really came into play right after that. I already knew the songs. I grew up with that from my grandmother listening to the Sinatra, and my papa and my mom and my dad. And I already knew the whole Sinatra catalog, but year after year, I would really, really hone my style and my craft and the phrasing and all that stuff.
Yeah, because you kind of made yourself a perfectionist.
I did.
Its presentation is one of the greatest things in the entire world. And I always remember my mother telling me, whenever you walk into anywhere, walk in as if you own it.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Make sure your shoes are clean and your hands are clean and everything's and dressed. No flip-flops and shorts.
No.
Always leave people wanting more. Always leave people wanting more is what my uncle used to say.
There you go, Chris. Yep. That's absolutely true.
I don't care if it's your last song of the night, you want an encore, you leave them wanting more.
Leave them wanting more. That's always, and I think that actually doesn't apply only to singing. I think that applies to everything.
Life in general.
Let them want more. Don't give everything away.
I think you'll agree, and I know Joelle agrees with me, and I'm sure you do as well, AJ. Humbleness goes a long way in the business, and you have to be humble. You have to respect others. And
I've never been any other way. I am what I am, and people say, well, Nina, you're a star. I say, I'm not a star. I'm the same as everybody else. I just talk a lot. That's
exactly.
I do a lot of talking.
No better than anybody else, but if it's the way you present yourself, it's the way you do your craft, and that's how people look at you, and that's how I like to be remembered, as doing what I do. And there's so many people that do Frank Sinatra, and I don't consider myself a tribute. It's more of a representation and an adulation and a respect for the man.
But I think the respect you have more than anything, the way you conduct yourself and how you are. And Joelle, do you ever? Are you just you, or you do? I know you're not going to do Frank Sinatra, but I'm
going to do Sammy Davis.
No, Sammy. I met Sammy Davis too. I met Sammy Davis in Florida.
Yeah. I met him too. I hung out with him here in Vegas. So, I was at the Follies. You were asking me the shows that I've done here. So I worked at the Follies, and then from the Follies, I went to work with Siegfried and Roy at the Frontier Hotel. I did 3 years there.
Did you work with them for 3 years? What did you do for them for 3 years?
A magic assistant.
You were the magic assistant. So you're the one that went in the cage and came out of the cage, and you were all helped.
There was really only Lynette kind of did the illusions at that point. Lynette Chappelle, their main magic assistant, who was with them for over 40 years. So we were kind of, we were performers in the show. If you had ever seen the show, it was kind of like a circus thing,
It was really, when you think about it, but it was in a large, beautiful hotel. So
beautiful. And I mean,
an extravaganza, actually, it was.
Absolutely. And I have to say that some of the costumes were just incredible. Bob Mackey provided some of those furs and things. I mean, I wore this incredible backpack that took 3 people to put the costume on me.
Didn't that weigh like 60 to 100 pounds?
Yeah, it did. And we had to walk down.
People don't understand that. People don't know that the backpack, it's funny you call it a backpack. Well, no,
it's true. It was called a backpack because it went on your back like a harness, but they would put it, and then they would drape these beautiful furs on your arms and your head, and then you had 4-inch heels on, and you had this little tiny G-string, And you'd have to, and this gorgeous bra with all these jewels, and you'd have this huge necklace on that probably weighed more than you. And then they'd say, okay, walk down the stairs. And
yes, of course I won't.
and and smile. Don't look like you're scared.
And don't look down. You can't
Don't look down. You had the trick was to put your heel to the back of the stairs. As you walked, you had to slide your heel down. And because I took a tumble one night. I went all the way down the staircase, but a lot of us did. I mean, it was just, you had to learn.
Was that in rehearsal or was that in live?
Oh, no, I did a live show. I went strolling, rolling down, tumbling down in a back brace.
That is to your credit.
Yeah. Same thing with the Follies. I mean, we did the same thing in the Follies Bergère. I mean, we had backpacks and headdresses, and we would walk down the stairs and, do jump kicks on a small little step. And, I mean, you
must know Gran Filippo. You know Gran Filippo?
I know the name, absolutely.
Right? Yeah, Gran Filippo has a museum of all the costumes and
all the Follies. Yeah.
Yeah, the Follies, all of them. He has it all at his.
I know, it's crazy. So anyway, from the Follies to the Lance Burton to, I opened Crazy Girls at the Riviera. I was there. I was one of the original Crazy Girls. Victor Upshaw came here from Paris, France, and he hand chose 16 girls to do a showcase to try to sell the show to Mr. Rickless, who owned the.
You must know Pia Zadora.
I know Pia, but I knew Pia back in the day, and there was kind of a little bit of a rift because her husband was a little bit cheeky, and he oftentimes put his hand in a couple of too many pots with other women, and I think that was a rub for her.
Yeah.
Not that I had anything to do with that. I was quite young then. I mean, I think I was 19 or 20 when I was in Crazy Girls.
Much older than you at that time.
She was a lot older, yeah.
Okay.
But I met her a lot of times. We were always invited to parties and things at the Riv, and
She does things at Piro's, but Piro's hasn't opened up again, has it?
No, it hasn't. So anyway, but from the Riv, I ended up working for Greg Thompson in the Bahamas, where I became a Cher impersonator. That's where I learned how to do Cher. And then when after I know I don't look like her, but all I gotta do is put the word. Anyway, so I worked as Cher, and then I came back to the U.S. and got hired with Lance Burton for 18 years. And I did 18 wonderful years with Lance Burton, and I ended up in his movie Billy Top It, which is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And he closed his show, and then I opened Vegas the Show as a singer and as a Cher impersonator. And then after that, I got a call from Lon Bronson, who was the band director at Rat Pack, and I helped create a new character that they put in the show that for the last 5.5 years was Barbie the Bunny. And so originally Barbie the Bunny was Italian, and she would come on the stage like an Italian girl, and she was present to Franco Sinatra. But then they didn't like that. So then they said, they want you to be like blonde and stupid. And oh my God, like that. Well, I didn't really think that fit in with the 60s, but whatever. Anyway.
You did what they wanted you to do, right?
Absolutely. What's the matter?
AJ, you want to say something? Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Thank you so much. We have about 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. Just want to let you know.
Well, we're going to have you both on again soon, but what I want to get right now, I'm going to go over to Chris and then I'll come back to you, Joelle. Yep. Chris, how can anybody get in touch with you, and where are you performing at the moment?
Okay, right now I am currently performing as the resident Frank Sinatra at the Rat Pack is Back, currently at the Tuscany Casino. Instead of downstairs where it originally was in the Copa room, we're upstairs in the Florentina room, and I believe we're going back February 5th.
Fabulous. Okay.
Correct.
And how can anybody reach you if they want to?
Reach me on Facebook, Chris Jason, Facebook, the Rat Pack is Back. They can also see me at the Sterling Club. I'll be there actually next week, the 22nd.
Oh, fabulous. I love the Sterling Club. That's the only classy club in town, actually. It's great.
It's so old school.
Yes.
And also I will be at the Italian American Club March 28th with myself, Brenda Cowart, and Stephen Lee on guitar, playing the music of Sinatra, Sinatra Unplugged.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go over to Joel because we got.
Okay, yes. On February 3rd, I will be at the Italian American Club, headlining my own show. And actually, Chris is going to be playing drums for me that night. He's a drummer as well.
Too.
So I have a three-piece with Brenda Cowart and Stephen Lee. Brenda's a keyboard player. She also plays with the Rat Pack. I just actually wrapped a 5.5-year run with Rat Pack, and I'll be doing some other things with them later in the year. But for now, I'm off doing my own. So Italian American Club on February 3rd, and I front a band called Joelle and the Gypsies. It's a heavy rock and roll band. We do a lot of corporates and privates. We're doing a private event this Sunday. Actually, Chris is our rock drummer in that. And so I have a few things going on. People can find me on joellerighetti.com if you want to look that up.
Too.
Huh?
You have a live stream tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, I have a live stream tomorrow on stageit.com. I forgot. Stageit.com is a live stream event at 5 o'clock tomorrow, Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
8 o'clock in the East Coast. Yeah, you can go to stageit.com. It's called Saturday Night with Joe. I'm doing a 30-minute show for $10 is your ticket, and you get 30 minutes of me singing some fun songs. So come and check it out. Stageit.com.
Okay.
I forgot there's so much going on. It's like
it's refreshing to hear that, because most of it, everything that's going on is not going on. Nothing is going on. So to listen to both of you, it doesn't seem like there's anything going on regarding the pandemic, because you're both working and you're continuing.
Yeah.
You're not letting anything get in your way, are you?
Keep the spirit alive and the music alive, and keep everybody happy.
That's
we just do what we got to do. I mean, look, Hope is not canceled, and neither is show business. And dancing in your living room is still free. So if you want to do that, come to stageit.com tomorrow night. You can dance in your living room with me. Woohoo!
I love every bit of it. AJ, you want to do a closeout?
Yes, our two guests are so delightful. I have enjoyed you so much, and I know our audience is going to love you just as much as I do and Ninon does. And I just want to thank you so much for your presence. You bring everybody up, you guys, and we absolutely love you.
Yes, they're amazing. The energy is absolutely incredible. I love the energy. Keep it up, guys. And there you go. Look, everybody's got love. Don't forget, all my audience out there, thank you for tuning in to Ninon Speaks. It's a new show. We've been only doing it. I think we've done about 18 shows by now. We're also going to be going down. We're going to do podcasts. We're going to also be on the radio. We're probably going to be on another 5 or 6 stations with Ninon Speaks. So the Ninon Speaks and Vegas Live with Ninon is really getting out there. But it only happens because of the guests I have right in front of me right here. If I didn't have all of you, I can't do this. And also for the audience out there, I thank everybody out there. They're absolutely amazing. And AJ came into my life at the beginning of this show, and she's my producer, and she's actually my everything. She's just amazing. But again, thank you so much. Don't be embarrassed now. This time I'm able to cut out without usually the Zoom cuts out right away, usually. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody? Chris, you want to give a shout out to someone?
I will say a shout out to my brother, my 2 brothers, Mr. Drew Anthony, who plays Dean Martin, and Kyle Diamond, who plays Sammy Davis Jr., and my mom back in the East Coast, Cookie. Salud.
Cookie.